Hello everyone, I'm your presenter Niharika Yadav, and together we are going to embark on a journey to learn more about WTO, that is World Trade Organization, starting from its birth to its current day impact on global economies. Every day, a network of ships, trucks, and planes move massive quantities of goods around the world. The food that you eat or the clothes that you wear are all delivered to you through a long chain of trades. But was the exchange this smooth always? In 1945, end of World War II, countries across the globe were struggling to stabilize their economies, in the wake of which an organization was formed in 1947, GATT, or known as General Agreement on Tariffs and Trades, which constituted of 23 member countries initially and grew to include 128 countries by 1990s. Later, GATT was reformed into WTO to include even more countries under its umbrella. But why was GATT reformed into WTO? You see, GATT did not cover certain aspects or provisions in its trade regulations, such as services and intellectual properties. Also, under GATT, countries started experiencing dumping of bad quality products, and there was no check like anti dumping to ensure a country's right to reject a trade merchandise. Apart from this, agricultural goods and lack of revision in original agreements made GATT less reliable. So, in 1986 to 1994, in Uruguay summit, it was decided to change GATT to WTO with new provisions and encapsulating new services. The findings can be verified by observing the trade notification graph. Before 1994, the trades were regulated by GATT, and as you can see, there were not many notifications issued under GATT. However, after WTO took over trade regulations, you can see an increase in the yearly trade notification post 1994. Not only that, under WTO, there were an increase in the service notification, which was completely missing in the GATT regulations. This clearly states the popularity of WTO and the confidence its member countries had in its policies. WTO consists of 164 member nations, accounting up to 98% of global GDP. As you can see from the region-wise RTA participants, one of the active participants of WTO is European region, accounting to 26% of regional trade agreements, followed by the East Asia. This spread agrees with our understanding that a lot of raw material production and manufacturing takes place in East Asia, and European countries engage in heavy trades with these countries to meet their local demands. Now let's look at a typical RTA journey. It starts with early announcement, where countries willing to enter a negotiation express their interest to WTO. An official notification is issued by both the countries, and subsequent notification of changes is issued in case the countries wish to revise their trade strategies. After that, WTO secretariats draft a factual presentation comprising of the economic and trade strength of the two countries involved. These then undergo various levels of scrutinies under Article 5 and 24 provisioned by GATT. Post this, countries sit for a round of Q&A in case they need further clarification. Once the agreement is reached in the assembly, a formal RTA is drafted and enforced as a biennial report. But has the WTO actually improved the economic conditions, or was it just good to regulate trades without translating it into actual monetary benefits? To study the impact of increasing RTA on global economy, we drafted a graph of GDP versus RTAs. As you can see, before 1994, the GDP was growing at a very slower pace, and after 1994, when it was regulated by the WTO, there were increased number of RTAs as well as there was a steeper growth in GDPs Not only that, RTAs have marked the significant economic events in 20th and 21st centuries. To name a few, we have Asian financial crisis of 1997 and 1998. As you can see from the graph, the number of notifications increased sharply in the later half of the crisis and post-crisis, that is 1998 and 1999 to 2000s. Same goes for the dot-com bubble burst of 2000 and 2002. We see a sharp increase in notification in 2002 and 2003. In 2007 and 2008, there was a global financial crisis and the European economy was badly hit. In response to that, a lot of revisions and new RTAs were issued in 2008 and 2009. Last but not the least, the global pandemic of 2020 and 2021, where we can see a sharp increase in RTA numbers in 2021, when countries all around the world were revising many trade agreements to sustain their medical and basic needs. All this make us reach the following conclusions. For world economy to run smoothly, we need WTO to regulate and look over the terms and conditions as well as the execution of the trade. We have observed a strong positive correlation between the global GDP and the number of RTAs notified, indicates that WTO contributes heavily to our global economy. We have also observed that recovery time and post-economic crisis, there is a sharp increase in the number of RTAs, indicating that the countries are heavily dependent on each other to recover their economies. This brings us to the end of WTO analysis. Thank you.